From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 15th, 2023. 5 more casualties were named by the IDF over the last 2 days. 4 of them soldiers killed during the ground operation in Gaza. They are 27-year-old Captain Omri Yosef David, 26-year-old Captain Yedidia Asher Lev, 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Ro'i Marom, and 27-year-old Master Sergeant Raz Abulafia. The IDF also announced the death of 19-year-old Corporal Noah Marciano, who was abducted by the Hamas terror group on October the 7th during its brutal massacre and later murdered by Hamas while in captivity. On Monday, Hamas released a propaganda video of Marciano speaking 4 days after her capture. The video then shows her dead body. Israeli troops continue to battle Hamas in Gaza, including at the entrance to Shifa hospital, where 5 terrorists were said to have been eliminated. IDF forces conducted an operation in a section of Shifa today, searching for terrorists and terror infrastructure, while also providing medical assistance and safe passage for hospital patients. IDF International spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari spoke about the operation this morning.
Based on intelligence information and an operational necessity, IDF forces are carrying out a precise and targeted operation against Hamas in a specified area in the Shifa hospital. The IDF is conducting a ground operation in Gaza to defeat Hamas and rescue our hostages. Israel is at war with Hamas, not with the civilians in Gaza. The IDF forces include medical teams and Arabic speakers who have undergone specified training to prepare for this complex and sensitive environment, with the intent that no harm is caused to the civilians being used by Hamas as human shields.
IDF forces delivered medical equipment, incubators, and baby food to the hospital today, and IDF medical teams, along with Arabic-speaking soldiers, were present to ensure that the equipment reaches those who need it. Later today, the IDF shared video of what was found in Shifa, with spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus on the scene.
A few of the most interesting things that we have found totally confirm, without any doubt, that Hamas systematically uses hospitals in their military operations in violation of international law. And what we have found, I think, is only the tip of the iceberg.
Conricus showing weapons and uniforms found in various locations inside the hospital, including behind an MRI machine. Earlier this week, spokesperson Hagari walked through one of Hamas's terror tunnels, which begins next to the home of a terrorist and leads directly to another hospital, Rantisi Hospital. Hagari showing a room where Israeli hostages are believed to have been held at one time, showing a list on the wall written in Arabic, which said, "We are in an operation against Israel," with the names of guards, presumably, who were watching the hostages since the date of the massacre on October the 7th, also showing a room of weapons.
This kind of gear is a gear for a major fight. These are explosives. These are vests with explosives. Yeah, it's a body vest for terrorists to explode on forces. Among hospitals, among patients, we have hand grenades, Kalashnikovs, and then we have the RPGs. People shooting RPGs from hospitals. This is Hamas.
Yesterday, White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby told reporters as well, "I can confirm for you that we have information that Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad use some hospitals in the Gaza Strip, including Al-Shifa." And while Kirby said the U.S. does not support striking a hospital from the air, and we do not want to see a firefight in the hospital, saying hospitals and patients must be protected, Kirby also noted how challenging the IDF military operation is because Hamas has deeply embedded itself within the civilian population, and calling Hamas's using the hospitals for a command and control node, a war crime. Rockets were fired today from Gaza at southern Israel, with at least one making impact in Ashkelon. No injuries were reported. Rockets were also launched at northern Israel from Lebanon. The IDF returned fire. Well, the families of the some 239 hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza set out yesterday on a march from Tel Aviv heading to Jerusalem under the slogan, "We will bring them back." They were joined by supporters and are expected to arrive outside the residence of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu by Saturday night, demanding information about their loved ones and calling for their immediate release. Israel's Foreign Minister Ellie Cohanim and families of Israelis held hostage by Hamas in Gaza held a briefing yesterday, Cohanim wrote, for 70 ambassadors to the United Nations institutions in Geneva. Cohanim saying the world must know the stories of the horrors of the 7th of October. And the urgent call for the release of the hostages was front and center at the March for Israel held yesterday in Washington, D.C., where an incredible 290,000 people showed up for Israel to stand in solidarity, to demand the hostages be released, and to stand against anti-Semitism. Speakers included Israel's President Isaac Herzog, former Soviet refusenik Natan Sharansky, stalwart bipartisan congressional addresses from the Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and Senator Joni Ernst, who stood as one for Israel, and relatives of the hostages who spoke passionately, calling for the immediate return of their loved ones. The message and demand the attendees echoed throughout the rally. Bring them home. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, November the 15th. At 7 o'clock, JBS strategic analyst David Harris discusses his experience at the March on Washington yesterday. At 7:30, Harris speaks with editor-in-chief of the Jerusalem Post, Avi Meir. At 8, we are excited to demonstrate Jewish heritage and pride through a very different arena, the basketball court. Proud to be the exclusive TV home for the 2023-2024 home season of the Maccabees, the Yeshiva University's men's team, premiering tonight. At 9:30, all-star NBA player Enes Kanter joins Ellie Cohanim to talk about his Turkish roots and using his platform to build bridges. At 10, Erez Sherman speaks with former American-Israeli pro basketball player Tamir Goodman. At 10:30, Maggie Haberman talks about her book, Confidence Man. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 15th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.